It's an Oldsmobile model that lasted for 50 years, 1949 through 1999. Hi, it's Bud Wilkinson. This time it's a dip into the Ride Connecticut archives for a story from November 2018 on an Oldsmobile Super 88. Marty Titus of New Milford, Connecticut wasn't hunting for a vintage automobile when he bought his 1964 Oldsmobile Super 88 some 8 years ago.
Just happenstance. I wasn't particularly looking for an Oldsmobile. I wasn't even particularly looking for a car at the time.
But the four-door hardtop in sky blue quickly ended up in his garage.
A friend of mine told me about it. He was working on the car for the owner, and the owner put it up for sale because he collects big four-door cars, and he had to make more room in his barn, so he decided to sell this one. So I went down and looked at it, and it was sitting by the side of Route 7 in New Milford, and it was kind of really dirty and cruddy looking. And he says, oh, here's a license plate, take it home, show it to your wife, see what she thinks. So I brought it home, I went inside and I said to my wife, I said, honey, look out the car, I got it out in the driveway. She says, does it run? And I said, yes, it runs. So I took her for a ride in it and she really liked it. So I called my buddy and I said, yeah, well, I think I'll buy it, you know. And he says, okay, well, just leave it there, bring me my license plate back.
Having 30 years of experience as a mechanic for Southworth's Chrysler Plymouth, Titus knew what he was looking at.
It was okay, it looked good, you know. Once I cleaned it up and got all the dirt off of it, it shined up really nice.
What's first noticeable about the Super 88 is the sky blue color.
You don't see too many of this color. So it wasn't a very popular color, and in '64 they only used it on Buick, Oldsmobile, and Pontiac. They didn't use it on Chevrolet or Cadillac.
It's got a huge engine and lots of features.
It has a 394 cubic inch V8 rated at 360 horsepower. This was the last year for this motor. In '65 they went to the newer style V8s, a completely different block. It has regular AM radio. It's all tinted glass, and glass is all original. Interior is all original.
For a car that's this old, the upholstery is in great condition.
It is.
The back seat especially. Is there a story in the back seat?
Yeah, I don't think it was ever said in. We believe there was plastic on those back seats for years. Like, you know, either somebody put on there or it came from the factory like that. Because they're just way too clean to for anybody to have actually used them.
It does have one other nice feature for the driver.
It has a 6-way power front seat, which is kind of an odd, you know, but there are no power windows. The windows just still crank up and down. But it does have the 6-way power seat, which is nice.
Given his background, Titus has little trouble maintaining the Oldsmobile. When it comes to working on it, he does
the majority of it, unless I need a lift for something, which I don't have, you know. Like my latest upgrade was air shocks in the rear, because our car club has a cruise night every Tuesday night, and I end up bringing the stereo system, the tent, and all that stuff. And when you put all that stuff in the back end kind of hangs down. So I bought a pair of air shocks and went up to my friend's house, who has 2 lifts in his garage, and we put the air shocks on. So that's why it sits up a little higher than normal.
Since buying it, Titus has put about 16,000 miles on the Olds.
Drives great. I mean, typical GM steering. It's very light on the steering wheel, you know, and it does have power steering, but most GM big cars are steer the same way. They're very light on the steering, you know, no effort required, you know.
The Super 88 wasn't the only 88 model that Oldsmobile built over the years. There was also the Delta, the Delmont, the Starfire, and the Jetstar 88, among others. It must have worked because the 88 was Oldsmobile's most profitable line. That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel.